This month's videos provided a simple overview on how to build any goal-setting exercise from the ground up. Today, I'd like to summarize these concepts in a neat little package. To combine the concepts that we've discussed over the past few weeks during the month of January. It starts with creating a vision we want for our life, whether that's a project, an endeavor, and so on and so forth. We need to define priorities as categories that define what is most important to us in life in general, or more specifically, to a particular project we'd like to embark upon. Beyond that, goals need to be defined in a highly detailed manner, which includes objective targets and milestones that can be easily measured and gauged over time. And this needs to be gauged and measured by any layperson and not just by yourself. Hence, objectivity. Once those steps are established, it is all in the will to begin. Willpower is essential. That may be a simple task for some, but for many people, starting is actually the most difficult step of all. This is not to say that you'd necessarily have a less than stellar plan when it comes to execution and implementation. It rather may have to do with a psychological barrier that hinders one from proceeding further. Breaking down and demolishing this psychological barrier is simple if we break it up into bite-sized hurdles that can be crossed easily. It all has to do with implementing true discipline to begin, all the way with follow-through, and carrying forward to the very end when we can celebrate completion, even if we face bumps along the way, and actually, especially so. We need to remain flexible and adaptable so as not to lose our cool nor our laser-sharp focus as we envision that finish line. Of course, conviction in the purpose is key when it comes to picturing the light at the end of the tunnel in the horizon. Motivation and willpower establish the drive. However, consistency and habitual routine enable breaking up difficult tasks into very much achievable ones if we simply take a small step every single day, thereby simplifying the process in the long run. Remember that motivation looks very different from one person to another. The way in which you motivate yourself may seem superficial for some. For others, it is more theoretical. But we need to find that happy medium that works for us. It all boils down to customization. Customization of the approach, customization of the rewarding system, and customization of the implementation. Nothing would get done if we simply try to emulate other people's processes. We can certainly gain inspiration from their motivational techniques, but we need to make sure that we make it our own in order to allow ourselves to be consistent in implementing this motivational technique, which leads the way to true discipline that lasts a lifetime. This is especially important for those tasks where we do not have anybody looking over our shoulder to complete. When we want to get things done for ourselves, it's easy to become complacent. But becoming truly disciplinary in the way that we achieve our life's pursuits is what differentiates people from somebody who's complacent and sits around and waits for things to happen versus another who gets things done for themselves, upgrades their skills, elevates their life, and improves every single day. Learning is not for the young. It is for every single human being to learn something new, to improve upon themselves. And without discipline, it is very difficult to do so. Remember that discipline is our friend and not an enemy that is punishing us. It is what drives us to that figurative horizon at the very end, which results in success, in achievement, and productivity. And in continuous habits that last and help us through those difficult days. Of course, everything seems simple in theory and on paper. The only way to test this theory and to test our abilities is to put it all into practice. What better time than the present to do so? Especially seeing how we are beginning a brand new year. Allow yourself a fresh start by implementing this blueprint, as simple as it seems, to the goals of your choosing that enable you to upgrade, elevate, polish, and fine-tune your life's pursuits. Happy exploring, and more importantly, enjoy your achievements, folks.